Hi, I'm Ashley McAlpine, and I am the Fraud Prevention Manager here at TMG. This week for Fraud Prevention Friday, we are going to be talking about fallback transactions, and we have Cole Casper here today from our product group to talk about what the transaction is.
Yeah, absolutely, Ashley. So really at the highest level, fallback transactions are when a transaction is conducted with an EMV card, and at the time that the data is being passed, whether it is from the merchant to the processor or in between, if there's multiple networks involved, that transaction is essentially downgraded to what is a magnetic stripe transaction, where all the quote-unquote Field 55 data or EMV data is dropped from the transaction, is just passed as a magnetic stripe data.
Yeah, so it's essentially a mag stripe transaction that takes place on an EMV card. So one of the things that we've seen from a fraud perspective is that our criminals are actually exploiting this fraud transaction type to get mag stripe counterfeit activity through. So some of the things that we've been looking at are setting limits from a merchant perspective on how many of these transactions can take place and how many transactions can take place on a specific card. Cole, do you think that as we get to a more adoption of EMV within our merchants, that this is going to decrease, increase?
Yeah, no, great question. So if you look across more mature EMV markets, so Canada, the UK, etc., you really don't see that these fallback transactions occur with as great a velocity as we see right now. So as the US market matures, we should start to see this diminish greatly. But for right now, to Ashley's point, not only should merchants keep their limits in mind, but also issuers. There's different limitations that you can put around your program, such as number of transactions that can occur on a card, that will really help prevent this happening in the future.
Yep, so if you have any questions about your limits or settings, feel free to reach out to the Falcon team at falconteam@tmg.global. Thanks and have a great week.